You know what this is here? These are the scars of the pain that I felt in my soul. I was born in the city of Recife in 1999. I'm the daughter of a single mom, and like all kids, I was a happy child, full of life and dreams. But at one point in time, it was all ruined. At 3 years old, I suffered abuse. It caused a lot of turmoil in my life, such as inferiority, anorexia, bulimia, phobias. I began to wear black clothes to change the way that I'd dress and the way that I'd live. I joined in groups that did self-mutilation, violent groups. They were groups of kids who were in the same state as I was. I didn't stay locked up in my room anymore. I started going out to events with other people until we were all talking about doing like a mass suicide. But I was also going to events with people who had this instinct to do sadomasochistic stuff, to be violent towards themselves and each other. And I liked doing the mosh pit too. There's a picture of me with a gun. And at that moment right here, I thought a lot about getting even with my abuser, to make him feel the pain that I had felt to the same intensity. So I'd come up with ideas, plans to kill him. And not just him, but as I was so revolted against all that had happened to me, I wanted to kill not just myself, but to kill everyone else around me in high school. So I turned into a threat to the kids in high school. And that was when I felt a strong depression in my soul. I lost the will to live. From one moment to the next, the world just changed from color to black and white. And that was when I was ready to take my life, no matter what the cost. I left my room. I went out to a park, a place in a specific area, and I saw a convenient place where I could hang a rope and end my life once and for all. At that moment was when my cousin found me. And when he realized what I was doing, he felt the need to take a picture of it since he couldn't believe what he was seeing. I had already tried to jump in front of speeding cars, but I was always interrupted and it wouldn't work out. I also tried drugs. I had not just one or two, but various overdoses. That's when I looked at all of those suicide attempts and knew they weren't enough. I still wasn't able to go through with it. And that's when I started to self-mutilate. I'd cut myself deeper, stronger. So I had a lot of cuts. I almost had nerve damage to compromise the movement of my arm. I cut myself deep in two places, one here on my neck and this one here. I also needed surgery where I had cut through my ligaments. I remember when I was on the hospital gurney and the doctor saw me in that situation and said, "You should have already died by now." I was admitted for 1 month, and when I left there, the stitches had scarred over, but not the wounds inside of me. In my attempt to rehabilitate, to overcome, I started to get tattoos, including this tattoo here that says warrior. It's like I wanted to tell myself that I was strong, that I could make it, even though my behavior showed the opposite. When those ideas would come over me, I'd fall back into them and do them again, until one day, late in the afternoon, I was home alone, and the thought came once again for me to end it all. Now it's going to work. I had a notion to live stream my suicide on social media, except As I was setting it up, I came across a post from the church's helpline coordinator. It really grabbed my attention. It was so simple, but it really captured my attention. It caught me there, and I clicked on it. The click led me to a profile, and that's when I started to get advice and started to make a habit of opening up to them, virtually pour out my heart. The woman online gave me lots of help, and she welcomed me and invited me to come to the Temple of Solomon. I remember on a Friday when I accepted the invitation to go, I went through an intense inner battle. I heard Bishop speak about people who were depressed, who had pain in their soul, and he called them up front to the altar. If any of you are going through this, then come up here to the altar. I just remember standing up front before the altar, and I can't remember anything else. That was when I manifested demons.
Ela se cortou aqui.
E não se lembra quando o retorno estava toda aberta, cheia de sangue.
Vocês estão vendo aqui? O braço dela. Quer dizer que ela teve que levar pontos aqui.
Fazer cirurgia.
Teve que fazer cirurgia. Quem cortou ela?
Eu.
Você cortou ela.
Isso.
Você incorporou nela e cortou ela.
Isso.
É isso?
Saudade de fazer isso.
And also, after that deliverance, I began to learn how to fight against evil thoughts. I began to learn who was my enemy, my true enemy. I stopped using drugs. I also began to cut off all my unhealthy relationships, friendships, and all that was taught from the altar I absorbed. My soul was starving. So I learned how to absorb it and put it into practice. I knew that I wouldn't be able to do it on my own strength. I had to give my all for God's all. And that was when I heard about the campaign of Israel. And obviously, I didn't understand it very well. It was also new to me, but I saw it as an opportunity. So I just got everything that had turned my life into garbage, that had made me feel like that. And I gave it on the altar because I had learned that the altar was God. My only desire was to have God inside of me. In fact, it would be having God's nature inside of me. I would change my identity for his identity. I remember when me, the child of a single mother, so needy for a father figure, that day in my life was magnificent because I finally found a father. It was as if God himself had come down to hug me and welcome me and call me his beloved daughter. For me, the Holy Spirit is greater than anything else, my greatest treasure. So my biggest desire was to quickly tell everyone about what I'd received, to tell people that if they had the Holy Spirit, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, their life would be great too. For someone who wanted to die, who was suffering, now I'm in the same project that had helped me. I'm helping lots of other people, going to the overpasses, leaving letters, going to workshops in schools and high schools. My mom and I also have a relationship that's friendly, peaceful, in harmony. I'm even a role model for my family. I'm trying to catch up for lost time in my studies. In my job, I have a position of trust and responsibility. When the Holy Spirit descended upon me, I stopped being weak, but became strong. My fears and complexes left, and a strength came inside of me, a confidence that I'd always wanted to have. I'm a stable person, consistent, who is able to move forward.
Deus vai fazer uma obra na tua vida, tá bom? Isso aqui, vai servir para testemunho. Essas marcas servirão para testemunho.
This word has really been fulfilled in my life. Today I'm here now giving my testimony. Really, who would ever have said that I'd be here giving my testimony, having overcome all of that? The Holy Spirit has helped. He's turned me into a new person. He's given me this opportunity to be well, to have Him with me, inside of me, and to have my life reconstructed.